big canvas. suppose if you were in the wrong position, come on over here, you dummy, So there you go, the dummy grid, the assembly grid. So we're back out with the Castrol Toyota Racing Series soon, but we've got the Formula 1600 back out there to finish off the 5 minutes, which is great. Great for the drivers too, to sort of settle their nerves and see what they've done with their lap times, and get a chance to really just go back out, get another feel of the track. It's all about getting into a rhythm. It's all about settling down, getting the nerves under control, getting your breathing right, just getting sort of your head space, switching off from whatever you do during the week, and then switching on to the helmet, and then focusing on what you've got to do. Just try and keep things simple and fast.
I imagine Steve Heffernan is still trying to get his breathing under control, get his head space right.
Well, it's only when you see the dent in the wallet.
But it's, yeah, it's the track's at that stage where it's certainly not dry.
It's going to be interesting too to see where the puddles fall and where you've got to watch out for, because if you're slipstreaming and drafting, the last thing you want to do is pull out and then get straight into one of those puddles that can, cause quite a bit of grief when it comes to the level of grip. And you can see how the track drains pretty. We've got a high water table here, though. When there's a high tide or a king tide, can cause issues.
You don't have to dig very far down into the ground to get the tide level, that's for sure.
Well, Noel Atley was talking to Murray Taylor, who's going to be our roving reporter during the Toyota Racing Series along pit lane, about the developments here with the asphalt pad now for the TRS cars rather than being on the grass, and pit garages coming along. You need a bridge though. You need a Whittaker slab bridge to come over so everyone can just cruise over from the race controls from the tower down to the grids, to all the pit garages, to the inside the infield.
That has been looked at. And all that sort of thing going on the track as well.
Just get it done, boys. Just get it done. Don't think about it. Just build it, get it on there. Kiwi ingenuity, South Island,
Over where the force signs are over there, there's a chance that it would be somewhere over there.
Where?
The bridge.
By the Mobile One signs?
Out over in the back. Over in the back there. Bring vehicles across there.
Not vehicles, just a walkway, just a spectator bridge. Like they have a Pukekohe. That's all you need. Right down by, over the main street. Nice big one. The Inky Tulloch Bridge. Inky Tulloch Bridge. There you go.
Not sure if we've seen Inky Tulloch back. They're racing at Teretonga now.
Apparently, haven't you guys got the most number of millionaires down here per capita for the region? In Southland, all the rich farmers, so you'd be able to slap one of those up over the weekend, wouldn't you? Come on.
Oh, we had a young dairy farmer sitting here that he said $8,000 to $10,000 was cheap, nothing. Which is...
it's just a couple of beef. So why have we got the red flag again, mate?
If you had a sheep farmer here, he would tell you $8,000 was a huge amount of money. A dairy farmer would tell you that $8,000.
So red flag once again. Another delay here with the Formula 1600s.
Well, I think it was the end of the session, wasn't it? Surely.
I would certainly say it's going to be the end of the session. I'll be bringing out the Castrol Toyota Racing Series. Then we'll see what the teenagers can do with the wings and slicks.
Are we going to have a small wager on whether the TRS race will get a red flag somewhere in the middle of it?
Currently in that Toyota Racing Series, number 10, Liam Lawson from Pukekohe, New Zealand, leads with 82. No, the Formula 1600s. This is like a never-ending qualifying session. They just keep coming back, keep coming out. Marcus Armstrong, the Kiwi out of Christchurch, the Ferrari Academy driver, he's second, 78 points. Raoul Hyman, the Asian Formula 3 champ out of the UK, 69 and third. Brendan Leach, number 86 from New Zealand, he's fourth in 56 points. So the three Kiwis in the field in that top five.
Another car off at the what car in front of the Toyota side.
So coming out of the sweeper. Well, I think as you've got cold tyres, slippery track, challenging conditions. Yellow flag is out around Castrol. One of them's parked up on the beach, number 98, James Penrose. Luckily for him, he's done the fastest time, so it won't affect him. He will be on pole once they get him out of the pit. A 113.8, Colbeck a 113.9, Bethune 114.8, Nichols 115 flat, Crawley 115.3, Stitchbury 115.9. Cameron Freeman, a 17.2, Noel Atley, 18.4, Spencer.
Noel Atley doing very well to back there, isn't he? Position 8 those times.
Spencer Bowe is our 70-year-old Wanaka man. What a great effort, 118.7. Kyle Girton, a 118.8, Grant Campbell, a 119 flat, Dyson Freeman, a 119.1, Corey Hodges, a 119.1, Robert Toshak, a 119.9, Dominic Robertson, a 120.3, Jack Noble Adams, he's done a 120.4, Steve Edwards, a 120.7, Andy Downs, a 120.7, Heffernan, 120.9, Mackenzie, 123.5, Greg Inwood, car number 95, wraps up the field of 21 starters for the Formula 1600s with a 120.6. So they've had their dash.
Yep, they're all off and we'll rescue those cars and we'll get ready for the...
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Teretonga. And it's lovely to be back in Invercargill. And for those of you tuning in around the world, this is the southerly-most international motorsport circuit in the world, and it's a cracker. Very long straight, very, very tough because it's a short circuit in terms of overall lap time, but you get it wrong here and you'll know about it, because come out the elbow, the last corner here, you've got to get the drive down to the long first corner, which is the southern loop, and that is tough too. I've seen many and off. We've just seen some practice from the 1600s and several incidents there. We have an interesting day here. We had rain overnight, and it's still wet out there at the moment. And this will be the first time, really, that these young drivers, certainly the ones coming to the first time to New Zealand, will be trying out wet weather in the TRS cars. We've already had one round, of course, and 3 races, and it has been a Kiwi fest, quite literally. All the races so far have been won by New Zealand drivers, and that includes Brendan Leach, who won race 2, and Liam Lawson, who won the first 2 races, or he won race 1 and race 3, I should say, but won 2 of the 3 races at Highlands Park last weekend. Just 16 years of age, the man, originally from Hastings, now from Pukekohe, is definitely got his tail up, and probably for many a big surprise. Not for those who follow New Zealand motor racing, though. They saw him a few years ago before he headed off to Europe, racing in the 1600s that we just saw, and he totally dominated there, and he's not looked back, and he really is something for the future. But that is what this championship's all about. It's all about finding New Zealand's next world champion. The first ever winner of TRS, a certain Brendan Hartley. We all know what happened and how well he has gone on to achieve brilliance, both with Porsche and, of course, more recently with Toro Rosso and Formula One. Marcus Armstrong, the other Kiwi, 18 years of age, more experience, and already picked up by Ferrari. He's just 4 points off the lead of young Liam Lawson, and it's going to be a good battle because they're both in the same team, the M2 competition men. So that's going to make things very interesting indeed.
Well, Jonathan, down here in the area, you picking me up all right?
Yes, can hear you loud and clear, Murray. What's happening?
Okay, well, Jonathan, obviously everyone's on wets for this critical 15-minute practice session. As we saw with the Formula Fords, the red flag coming out, the track is obviously very wet. Some of the spray had started to dissipate a bit, but definitely this is going to be on wets, and we're going to be looking out for the fine. You've got to be quick at the end because the line is going to be drying, so it's going to be a countdown. You've got to stay there, you've got to survive, you've got to bank a lap as quick as you can, and then go for it right at the end.
Let me ask you this, Murray. We had an off with Lucas Auer, of course, one of the favourites, another M2 competition man. Lucas coming back for his 3rd series, but he went off quite hard at the exit of Castrol into the gravel. How badly was the car affected?
Well, it looked like the underfloor was damaged. The front wings were knocked off. I think it actually tangled trying to push during that session. But, yeah, no, the cars are all here, all 16 cars, of course. We've gone up one more with young Jackson Walls. Had his birthday on Friday, so he's here making his debut. And 16 cars, a really good field. This is going to be a critical round of the championship.
Yeah, no question about it. Teretonga always goes, throws up some great racing, and certainly one man who is determined to achieve a good result is, of course, the local man, Brendan Leach. His family literally grew up here. I was talking to him yesterday about his first ever time of racing here when he was 13 years of old, of age, and he jumped in when his brother had a crash, Damon, and literally there were sponsors on the cars, and Mum and Dad said, "Hey, we need to get out there. Are you ready?"
Jonathan, I'm here with Barry Leach. Barry, your boy, local boy, good circuit knowledge. Is this going to be his weekend?
I'd like to think so. It's really slippery out there, but we'll see what happens after session.
It's going to get quick towards the end.
I'd say it will, also it's going to dry out, so it'll be interesting to see how quick the guys can change the slicks if they need to.
Well, you're a local man, you know the circuit. Does it dry quickly?
Yes, it does. It drains really fast here because of the sand base under the circuit. Yeah.
So you must have been a very proud dad last weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. He finished really well, getting 4th overall for the weekend. It's like he's back on his game again.
Nice to bank a win early in the series.
Yeah, it is really good. It's good to see the Kiwis win all the races too.
Well done, Barry. One of the big personalities down here in Southland, Barry Leach. Wonderful business he's got down here, Jonathan.
Yeah, no question about it. And in fact, he's got a good apprentice, evidently, because, funnily enough, while all the other drivers are seeing a little bit of New Zealand between races, Brendan's hard at work. For Dad, he's doing an apprenticeship with his father, who, of course, workshop is just down the road from here.
So, Jonathan, they've all got the rain lights on. Makes great pictures. The red lights on the back of the cars flashing to show the rain, and they're moving out now.
So here they come then, just to put you up to date. In the first 3 practices we had yesterday, all the Kiwis on top. Liam Lawson topping the first practice, Marcus Armstrong the second practice, and Brendan Leach the third practice. Brendan did a 53.9. They're not anywhere close to Lance Stroll's fastest time around, Teretonga in 2015, but then again, it's early days, and of course in these wet conditions I don't expect any lap records. But everybody's starting to file out of the pit lane, and if you're coming to Invercargill to see these guys for the first time, we've got a host of great drivers from all over the world. The Czech Republic, Belgium, Great Britain, USA, the Kiwis, 3 of them of course, and a really good combination. We've got the Asian Formula 3 champion in Raoul Hyman, who's already shown he is capable, very capable indeed. I was talking to him yesterday. He's done GP3, he's done Formula 3, and of course is the current Asian Formula 3 champion. I can see the rooster tails at the Brickyard, and it just shows you as they head down, the leaders that is, to the elbow for the first time. It's going to be pretty tricky out there in this qualifying session, but as Murray pointed out, you haven't got a lot of time to mess about. And if the drying line does form and somebody wants to risk it and go out on slicks, they will absolutely take a lead when it comes to speed anyway. The slick tyre is so much quicker. But right now, as we see Liam Lawson crossing the line and just warming his tyres up, there's no way you can go on slicks, I don't think, because it's just too slippery. Looks as though everybody's made it out the pit lane, including Lucas Auer, who we mentioned had an off yesterday. Callum Williams also had a spin, no problems for him, the young Australian. And we're taking a look at Jackson Walls. First time we've seen the Objective-sponsored car, and Jackson Walls from Australia, and Objective is his father's software company. And Dad's here, and Dad is a pretty good peddler in his own right. Done the Carrera Cup, currently driving in GTs in a McLaren, good to see, and a real help to young Jackson, just turning 16 this weekend. The story goes that effectively he came down for the first round, but obviously was too young by a week, a bit like Liam Lawson last year, and so he did some testing, which is fine, and then joined the championship this weekend. So he is probably one of the youngest competitors we've had, but he's already shown that he's got some pace. As we see Lucas Auer just heading out. Here he is, the number 22. Remus-sponsored M2 man coming back for his 3rd run. You'll see the Red Bull on his helmet, and that is because, having been a factory driver for Mercedes for 4 years in DTM, Lucas is going back to single-seaters. In fact, he's going to Japan this season to take on the mighty Nick Cassidy, Jan Mardenborough et al. In Japan in Super Formula. And so he's come here to New Zealand to basically hone his single-seater skills, and it's a smart move by Lucas. He loves racing here. Like I said, he first came here in 2012 and really enjoyed being. It's great to have him back, and it's great to have the quality of somebody who's been a factory driver already, 24 years of age, a little older than some of the other competitors. On paper anyway, be the winner of this championship, but already his younger teammate, as we take a look at Cameron Dasson, the number 28, you can see the American flag emblazoned, Formula 4 winner, the first ever Formula 4 winner in 2016. Go ahead, Murray.
Yeah, Jonathan, 5 minutes before they called from Sydney from Greg Siddle. He was at Highland Park. He's very much the mentor for young Lucas, a very good friend of his uncle, Gerhard Berger. watching on live feed. He wanted to know what the weather is. He's rejoining us at Hampton Downs. Part of our global audience, Greg Simmons, one of the great names in Europe and all over Australia.
Well, Pee Wee, if you are listening, I can tell you it's pretty normal service resumed here at Invercargill. It's wet. It was lovely yesterday, and hopefully it could be dry again. But we always get some sort of wet weather here at Teretonga, but that adds to the drama. But right now, your boy's doing good. He had an off yesterday. The car's back to full fettle, and he's just crossed the line here, as have everybody now putting in some markers. Liam Lawson, the quickest one so far, hitting the 1 minute mark, and I think that will drop down in dry weather. We got into the 53.9s yesterday with Brendan Leach, and at the moment it's Liam Lawson, Marcus Armstrong, and Kazuto Kataka. And I say that slowly because it's the first time we've really mentioned at the sharp end the young scholarship Toyota driver from Japan. Delighted to have some real Toyota interest here. And Kazuto has just really taken to this track. His first time here. He had an ordinary or not spectacular weekend in Highlands, but all through the testing and practice, he's improved. I saw him yesterday, and he had a big smile on his face, and I said, good job today. He goes, well, better than yesterday. So it's slowly, catchy monkey, and he's right there. Lucas Howard just crosses the line in 4th place, behind the Japanese at 101.5.
Yes, I'd have to agree with you about Kazuto. He really started to find today. He was 15 years into TRS. First Japanese driver, Jonathan Toyota will be delighted to see one of the back drivers here.
Yeah, no question about it. There's definitely, I think he is paving the way for many more young Japanese. We see them at Macau every year, often with Toms or B-Max, and I think it's a really good thing. And the fact that Lucas Howard's going the other way as a European, they love to have their Europeans. Look what Nick Cassidy's achieved in the short time that he's been there. International Driver of the Year this year in Japan, and so all of you fans of New Zealand motorsport can be very proud of that fact as the Kiwis fly the flag wherever they go. We're taking a look at the number 36. You cannot miss him with the distinctive black and green, the Japanese flag on the end plates there, and yeah, high hopes for him, and it will be a big story in Japan if he can get a result out of this weekend, and so far he's looked very good indeed. We're keeping an eye also on Cameron Dass. He was second in the practice yesterday afternoon with a 54.081. Esteban Muth showed that he's got some flair, the young Belgian. He did well at Highlands, and again, more as expected. Brendan Leach moving up the board, 101.1. Big weekend for Brendan, having won at Highlands. We predicted before the season started that if Brendan was going to win this title for his 6th attempt at doing so, this is his 6th consecutive run, and in fact the Leachers have run 11 of the last years in TRS, with Damon before that. So it is a family affair, and the ITM-sponsored man determined to try and win this year, and he believes if he can get to Hampton Downs, which is the next round, with a chance at the lead, and he's obviously got that chance now because he's right in the running, having had a win in race 2 last week. And of course, this is a track he literally grew up in. This is going to be his best opportunity. So, Brendan Leach, all eyes will be on him here in Invercargill. Very popular figure.
Interesting, Jonathan, to see that Liam did his fastest lap on lap 4. He's banked in time early. So currently 0.3 ahead of Lucas Howard, just gone up into 2nd. Marcus Armstrong 3rd. So this is a repeat of what we saw at Highland Park. These are the guys setting the pace. But gosh, it's close.
Yeah, and they're all M2, of course, under the tutelage of Jonathan Murray. Big battle on, in fact, also to effectively lead the overall wins between Giles Motorsport and M2 competition. Giles, of course, dominated in the early years, but M2 have been the team to watch over the last few years, and now they're equal on wins. So this is an important weekend for Jonathan Murray and his team, if he can get one on Giles. But of course, Giles have their own banker in Raoul Hyman. He's currently down in 11th position, but I think will improve as we take a look at Liam Lawson on screen right now, going through the loop. Tricky part of the circuit, this, coming out of the loop. Lawson had an incident coming up out of 2 on Thursday, just damaged the back of the car. No real damage, just found the limits, as they say. And no harm, no foul. Few incidents last weekend. Murray's friend Artem Petrov going off in race 2. Okay though, and had a couple of offs over the weekend, but they got the car together. Lucas Auer had a big crash and they had to rebuild the car. He was pole position for the feature race. As we take a look at Esteban Muth, who started on pole position but had a jump start and allowed this man, the ITM sponsored Brendan Leach, to get a race win under his belt. A really important psychological thing for Brendan Leach. And remember, Leach, not like the rest of them, tied to any big teams or academy for Formula One. He does this because he can, and obviously scrapes together the sponsorship each year, gets fitness, and does some driving at Cromwell, but really not a lot of chance to get ready for this championship. He hopes to go overseas. His overall ambition is to follow in the footsteps of Scott Dixon, the 5-time Indy champion. And I think if Brendan keeps this up, he's still only 23. He certainly showed over the years that he's capable, because the very best drivers in the world, we only have to look at who's in Formula One now, from Kvyat to Lance Stroll, and Brendan's beaten all of them along the way. He just needs a break, and I think that break could come if he could make the top 3 again this year. Very wide there that time, but just hanging on to it. He's pushing, that's for sure.
Well, Jonathan, just 4 minutes to go. We've still got Liam Lawson, you can see, and it's that early lap he did, lap 4. No, it's better than. So
yeah,
just over 1 minute.
Yeah, it's interesting. You'd think the conditions, because it's not raining, would have got better, but as you say, Liam set the mark early on. I've just seen Marcus Armstrong, though, go his quickest time, a 00.458 to go second. So he's right there with Liam, so the times are coming down, and as you say, with 4 minutes to go, just under, I think we will get some quicker times as everybody pushes. Jackson Walls coming into the series down in 14th place, but he's gone quicker than his fellow Australian. That's Thomas Smith. He did a 102.6 and not shabby at all. I'm sure Dad will be proud of that. Lawson on screen. Keeping an eye on all of the drivers right now. And at the moment, it's Lawson, Armstrong, and Auer. Kotaka doing a really good job in 4th place. Esteban Muth, who we've seen a few times. Here comes Lawson to cross the line. He passes our commentary position. The Turner sponsors car. And the Porter Group in very much in vision last weekend at Highlands, cheering him on all the way, as was his family. Great to see them. Kotaka goes quicker. He goes into the 100s and 967 he does. Callan Williams up to 6th position. Good to see Callan, the Aussie. He's a rookie, remember, and he's gone quicker than Brendan Leach. Leach struggling a little bit with 101.092. That's half a second off the pace at the moment. And Liam Lawson's 100.339, still the fastest time. And Murray, anybody still in the pits, or are we all out trying to get a time?
No, this is not a session where you want to be in the pits. You need to be out there taking the opportunities. So we've got just the 10th between the two Kiwis, Liam and Marcus. But with 2 minutes to go, is anyone going to beat that best lap 4 for Liam Lawson?
Well, remember, 2 qualifying sessions for the first time in the Toyota Racing Series. We have 2 distinct qualifying sessions, one today and one tomorrow morning, to decide the grid for the feature race. So that has changed things a little bit, and it's also changed the approach of the drivers. A little bit more thinking time and setup time, and of course the conditions quite different than they are tomorrow morning. So that just changes things up a bit, and I think it's a change for the good. I think it makes it a little bit more interesting, and certainly gives the engineers and the mechanics a little bit more time if there is problems or something they want to sort out. So the clock ticking down. Here comes Auer. Looks as though Lucas Auer is on it. Look at that. Just drifting through the Teretonga circuit. He is on a charge. Whether he's actually going quick, I'm not sure, but he's certainly sliding it round. And Lucas Auer trying everything in his bag of tricks to try and go fast here in these wet and treacherous conditions. But having done DTM, he knows exactly what it's like to race in the wet. And Lucas Auer trying to improve. He's currently 3rd, a 100.728. He crosses the line. Now, does he improve?
Of course, Jonathan, they get in more here at Teretonga. It's a shorter circuit, under a minute. Last weekend they were getting 6 or 7 laps. They're already, Muth's done 13 laps, so they're getting twice as many laps in the 15 minutes.
Oh, we got it off. And I think that's number 9. That's Peter Potacek of the Czech Republic. He was in the press conference yesterday. Interesting kid. Just 16 years of age. Just a slide off there. Just went wide. Time running out, though, here in our qualifying session. Just 10 seconds to go. Can anybody improve on Liam Lawson's 1:00.339? Lawson has been the man to watch so far in the Toyota Racing Series. He won the Dorothy Smith Memorial Trophy, which was special to him. Kenny Smith, of course, his mentor growing up. So he was delighted to win the Dorothy Smith Trophy last weekend, and is now going to take pole position ahead of his arch rival and fellow Kiwi Marcus Armstrong. Lucas Auer did not improve in that lap. We saw him getting a little leery, fighting the wheel a few times, and it didn't improve his time. Kotaka, though, will start on the second row. That's a good result for him, his best qualifying session so far. Esteban Muth, 5th. Callan Williams, again, his best time in 6th position, and Brendan Leach will start 7th. He'll be disappointed with that, but I know Brendan can improve from there, and like we said, he is a track expert here. Petrov, the Russian, is 8th, Cameron Das 9th, and Petru Florescu of Romania rounds out the top 10. Disappointment for the Giles man, Raul Hyman. He's 11th. Parker Locke, the Texan, is 12th. Potacek, who you saw going off there, 13th. Jackson Walls, the new man, in 14th position, and at the back it's Thomas Smith, and there, grounded sadly, is Florescu of Romania, and he has just beached it here in Invercargill.
Well, Jonathan, that was an unusual session, but you would normally, in those conditions, you would expect to see a flurry of fast times right at the end as the dry lap came. But we've got Liam Lawson. He did his best lap on lap 4, Marcus lap 10, Lucas on lap 6, and Kazutu on lap 11. So really against what you would expect in these sort of tricky conditions.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, you're right. Usually we do get the last 4 minutes and somebody goes much quicker, but I'm surprised, as you said, that Liam Lawson set his time early on, but well done to him. And that's great for the Kiwis. They've topped every session so far here at Teretonga, and they've won every race that's been held so far. Early days yet, though, but the Kiwi flag is flying high here in New Zealand. Well, looking at the graphics, apologise, the time is slightly askew, but I can tell you what I've got anyway. But Liam Lawson, I'm pretty sure, is the fastest man of the day.
And I'm just making my way over to the scrutineering area. We'll see with find out what he was.
Yeah, thanks, Murray. We're starting to drop out as you go away, but yeah, I heard you saying we're going over to the scrutineering, but there's what we've got. Lawson, Armstrong, Auer, Kotaka, Muth, Williams, Leach in 7th, Petrov 8th, Das and Florescu. And you can see the abundance of different countries represented, from Russia to Australia, Belgium, Japan, Austria, and of course, at the top of the table, New Zealand. The Kiwis flying high here at Burt Munro's backyard. So then, that concludes our first qualifying, and it is the championship leader by 4 points, Liam Lawson, the 16-year-old from Hastings, leading the way at the moment from the Ferrari Academy driver, his teammate Marcus Armstrong. Lucas Auer, also of M2 competition from Austria, is in 3rd place. Kotaka 4th. Esteban Muth in 5th, and Callan Williams rounding out the top 6. My thanks to Murray Taylor. He'll be back with us later in the day for more from the pit lane. But that concludes our qualifying practice. Stay tuned to our live stream around the world, and tune in to our race, which will be coming up later in the day. And that should be a cracker. Can't tell you what the weather's going to do, but it doesn't matter. It's fun, and we're racing at Teretonga.